All right, we are live here at Office Hours on LinkedIn Learning. I'm Drew Boyd. I'm an author here on LinkedIn Learning. It's good to see you all. I see people from all over the world here. We have India, we have Iran, Dr. Farzad Zabet. Nice to see you. We have somebody from Berlin. Uh, we have, let's see, Kenya. Okay. And we have Laura Burgels from Lake Michigan. Hi, Laura. Laura Burgels is one of my favorite fellow authors here on LinkedIn Learning. Nice to see you here. Check out her courses. Good stuff. And Laura, it's nice to have you here. I'll be curious to get your feedback after we go through our session today. Uh, Hi, Kathleen from Jacksonville, Florida. We have Mohammed from Egypt. Okay, Mohammed, welcome. Very nice to have you here. And we have a LinkedIn user from South Africa, Chile, South Africa. Ooh, okay. Laura, oh, you the best. Okay, I'll take that. Well, I'm laughing, and you may think because of the title of this live stream that this is all going to be about funny stuff, and I'm going to tell jokes, and I'm going to be some funny guy. But that is not it at all. I am not here to be funny. In fact, just the opposite. I want to be very serious about this topic. I'm not here to tell jokes, to teach you how to tell jokes, or even why you would want to be funny or humorous in a meeting or creativity session. In fact, just the opposite. I'm going to suggest that you want to be very careful. You be very careful with humor and telling jokes. Gosh, you always run the risk of offending somebody. So that's not what this live stream is about. How you be funny or why you should be funny. In fact, in most meetings and especially creativity sessions, uh, the best ones are not funny at all. They're quite serious, and because of that, I see that the people who think that creativity sessions and meetings have to be fun with silly string and frisbees and loosen up and limber up. That's a bunch of crap. I don't believe in that at all. So, what is this about then? Here's the main message of this live stream. I want to show you how to recognize and be cognizant of when humor and laughter occur in a meeting you're in and what you need to think and do as a result of it. Humor has a very special signal to it, and laughter, especially. I'm going to show you how laughter is something you need to be aware of and know that when laughter occurs, something special has happened, and you have an opportunity right then and there to recognize it and use it to your advantage. So let's check in here. So we also, Jason Cooper, good to see you again. Jason Cooper is a very successful podcast. In fact, I just was a guest on it. Jason, nice to have you here. We also have Alfredo from Peru. Excellent. All right. Thanks for checking in. So let's get into this issue of humor and how following the laughter. That's going to be the thing you remember from this live stream. Follow the laughter. What is laughter? Well, I want to show you a book. I have it here. It's one of my favorite reads of all time. It's a scientific, serious study by a guy named Robert Provine on laughter, and it's a relatively old book now. It's about 20 years old, but a great book if you want to learn about this very complex behavior in humans. I'm going to just tell you a little bit about laughter. Laughter has been studied for 2,000 years by all the great philosophers and scientists. It's a unique behavior, not just in humans, certain primates do it as well. And I want you to be more cognizant of when you hear people laugh. because laughter has two faces. It's a Laughter is a harlequin that shows two faces, one smiling and friendly, and the other dark and ominous. Think about it. When you hear laughter, it could be because something was funny, or somebody was watching a sitcom or heard a joke and they're like, ah, that's great. That's a good one. Or it could be just laughing with friends, joyous. But there's a dark side of laughter too. Laughter can be very hurtful and biting. You see somebody fall down the stairs, right? And it's not funny. But what do people do? They'll like, "Ah." So we laugh for very complex reasons. And then what I noticed, especially after reading this book and understanding it more, that laughter can play a very significant role when you are in meetings. Let me explain. First of all, laughter, humor, and creativity have a very unique relationship. They're essentially the same phenomena. Creativity is defined as the sudden collision of two previously unrelated themes or things. It's taking two things and just mashing them together, and you get something creative, not necessarily useful, but something creative. So I'm picturing an image of in my mind. I don't have the photos right available, but I saw a picture of it was an ice cream cone at the end of a microphone stand, and it was meant to look like a microphone. So they took a ice cream cone, a microphone, jammed it together to create this visual, and it was creative. And you could do it with pretty much any two things that are around you right now. Imagine mashing them together and then thinking of a beneficial reason why it would happen. That's the act of creation. Uh, and a great book on that, Arthur Kessler wrote a fabulous book called The Act of Creation that you can read about this. Now, what is humor? Well, it's the exact same thing. It's when two things collide unexpectedly to make you laugh. A husband and wife are enjoying a beautiful bottle of wine for their anniversary. The husband's like, what, what are you thinking right now? And the wife says, I've so enjoyed you these many years. I don't know what I would have done without you. The husband's like, is that you talking or the wine talking? And the wife says, that's me talking to the wine. Okay. Now, that's, I promise, well, I won't promise, but that's a joke. And if you laugh, why? Because two things unexpectedly came together to make you laugh. Okay, humor, creativity, the same process. So what? Here's what it means. When you're in a meeting with people, any meeting, and you hear laughter to in response to something said in the room, you know that this has happened. Something was funny in that. There was something creative in that that caused a person to laugh. People laugh on the humor side when they hear this, when they have this phenomena. Okay, now what that means to you is, why did they laugh? And what does it mean? Why did they laugh? What did they see in what was said that was creative? And then you want to dig deeper. You want to explore. You want to follow the laughter. Let me give you an example. I was facilitating a creativity training session. My good friend and co author, Jacob Goldenberg. We were at Columbia University in New York. It was an MBA, executive MBA program. And we were doing an exercise where you had to take something in a grocery store and imagine it having the unique role of making people stay longer in the store. It's a clever exercise we do to teach different creativity techniques. So this one guy kind of being a wise guy, he he took the frozen food section where you have a door that opens up into frozen foods. And he said, he goes, let's let's pretend the frozen food section doors are locked. And he starts laughing. Ah, ha, ha, ha. And everybody else started laughing too. They were like chuckling. Ha, 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 ha. Now, in that exact moment, what does the laughter communicate to the group about what was just said? Think about it. When people laugh in a group setting, usually it signifies, ah, ha, 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 that's funny. Let's move on. In other words, the laughter is kind of an acknowledgement that he's been a wise guy, is a little cute, funny, but not serious. And we're intended to move into something more serious. In other words, we move away, withdraw from the moment. And that's exactly what this guy was doing. He was trying to be funny. He was a funny guy, and he made up this funny statement. The door doesn't open. You can't get into it. And people chuckled. So what did I do? That's the key. Instead of just withdrawing and moving on and saying, ah, that's funny. Now let's go to something more serious. Oh no, I didn't let him off the hook. And what I did is I chuckled right along. Ha 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 ha. That's funny. But just for a minute, let's pretend that the doors to the frozen section, the freezer, are locked and you can't get in. What would be the benefit? How could customers react positively to this? Now the room was shocked. They couldn't believe it. They're like, "Why would we do that?" And I forced them. I said, "No, no, no, no. Let's just go there for a minute. Not that, not that we're going to do this, but just what would be the benefit? Let's work on it. Let's go there." And we did. And all of a sudden, the group started coming up with very interesting ideas. What if this section of the frozen food aisle had high value items, people that you had to get on a waiting list to get to it, that it created a sense of scarcity? What if it was meant to only open at certain times of the day, maybe between 2 o'clock and 2:15, and you had to be right there or you wouldn't get it? And one idea after another came out of this seemingly silly configuration, spoken as a joke, and in fact, it turned into great ideas. So it taught me, and I knew this before, but I do it systematically. When I hear people laugh, I take note and go, something happened there. You can do this too. Let's say you're in a group of colleagues, you're working on a budget situation, and you have to reallocate the the budget for some purpose. So you're working together, and one person in the room, a colleague, says, "Well, we could just cut everybody's budget, take everybody's budget away," sort of sarcastically, right? Just to be sort of a cynical, funny, release the tension, whatever. And everybody laughs. Well, right then and there that because of the laughter, people saw or imagined something creative. There was a sudden mashing together. That's your cue. Follow the laughter. And that's where you say, well, not that we're going to, but just what would be the benefit? What if we did it for a period of time? What would be the benefit? Now, your colleagues are going to look at you like a little crazy, but persist. Keep them on the task to just imagine a benefit from that configuration. And from my experience, when I hear laughter, there is usually a great idea right around the corner, and you have a choice right then and there. Do you withdraw from the moment, or do you move into the moment and capture that opportunity? Now, here's a comment, and feel free to post questions on this or experiences. Uh, be happy to, and would be happy to bring you on live. If you want to come on live with me right now, just let me know. I'll send you a link, and in you go. Okay, Laura, I wouldn't mind being stuck in a freezer for a few minutes. It's hot. It might be like dipping into a pool, a way for customers to cool off. So, it's interesting. One of the other things that people talked about is in some stores now, like a retailer here in the US, we have a retailer called Costco, and they have not just a frozen section, but a room that is for frozen goods. And you walk into it, and it's very cold. Uh, but the core idea here was, how would this room or this door be locked, and why would it be beneficial to customers? It turned into great ideas. Follow the laughter. Seemingly silly jokes turn into creative ideas. That's the point. Thank you. Here is a comment from Dwight Accorda, a total dumbass, willing to live, love, and learn like a pupil to educate, execute, and earn like an executive. Okay. Thanks, Dwight. You might be getting some out of this. I appreciate that. So, what questions or comments or volunteers? Anybody would like to come on live? Let me know. We can talk a little bit about this. Kathleen Ball. Yeah. Costco. The Costco walk-in refrigerator. Total bliss during a hot summer day or hot summer months. Yeah, it is, right? Okay. So, just to summarize here, the key is, and Sherman, you're absolutely right here. Laughter is the best medicine. That's one side of it. Laughter can also be kind of a spear to the heart, has that dark side. But either way, there's a creative aspect to it. In fact, you just reminded me of something. Here in the US, maybe elsewhere in some of your countries, we celebrated a holiday on Sunday. It's called Father's Day. And my dear friend and colleague, Darla Wilkinson, who's on today, she sent me this: exceptionally bad dad jokes. So frightfully awful, yet wonderfully spiffing. Darla knows that I, I like dad jokes. So thank you, Darla. Are you tempting me to tell a few dad jokes here? I promise you I wouldn't try to be funny. Okay. But, I do love elevator jokes. They just work on so many levels. But I really don't like jokes about stairs. They're always up to something. Okay. I, I'll stop the pain, the torture. I know. Let's wrap up here. Laughter is a complicated behavior and emotion in people that can signal important cues for you in group meetings. And so you want to always be attuned to it. Follow the laughter. Know that when laughter is heard, this has happened. The creative act has happened in somebody's mind, and you have an opportunity to pry into it and try to figure it out and find some benefit from this creative configuration. If you do, you could find gold. If you withdraw from the moment, you lose that opportunity. So that's it. Next week, we are having on 4 authors of a just released scientific paper very interesting topic called the half truth effect and its implications for sustainability. And these authors are going to come back or come on here and explain this new cognitive bias called the half truth phenomena or half truth effect. And join us. I think this is another important way to improve your decision making capabilities. Also, be sure to check out the podcast, Creativity Inside the Box, that comes out every Monday. And it is available on all the usual platforms, Spotify, Pandora, etc. So that's it. Thanks for joining. Look forward to seeing you next week. Bye bye, everybody.